guys, welcome back. Today's video is on how to improve your blues uniform. Let's get started. So my first tip is probably a really obvious one. Wear garters. And now don't just wear one set of garters, wear two sets. And I don't always, when I'm wearing pants, do that. But especially if you are getting promoted or something big like that, make sure you wear them. It should be to the point where you're like, my pants, they're gonna fall off. They need to be tight and you have a lot of them. There's several ones you can buy off Vanguard where it actually goes around your foot and doesn't latch onto your socks, which I like much better. Measure and measure again. And what I mean by this is don't just eyeball it. Get out a ruler, and you can actually get rulers that are like 3 inches or get a big one and cut it, because I hate having a 12-inch ruler because I just find it unpractical. And then you can even leave it in your pocket of your BDU pants or your blues pants, and that way you can just check it and you can always have it with you. And I really like that, especially for like ribbons, nameplates, stuff like that, especially with girls. Girls have it so much harder because we don't have pockets. So make sure you're actually measuring it the first time and then measure it again, and then adjust, put it on, adjust, adjust, adjust. That's the key to it. Okay, for Clora Frames, those are like the shiny shoes that you get with your blues. You can wear your BDU boots, but I think most people do get Clora Frames. And so always make sure that you can actually clean those with Windex. Don't actually polish those, but Windex or just some water or something can get that off, and then always take care of the scuffs. I have a video that I'll link above that is all about how to take care of your Clora Frames. Okay, so you need to tuck in your shoelaces, but my shoelaces are like round and super thin and like skinny, and they're just super complicated. So when I'm really trying to have like a nice crisp uniform, I make sure that I safety pin my sock, like the laces. I put the safety pin through each lace, and then I safety pin it to my sock because then it just sits there. And then the only thing that's a little complicated is if you're on encampment, it takes a little bit longer, and it's just something you have to remember before I take off my shoes. I have to undo it because otherwise it gets a little complicated. Safety pin all your cords. So actually in regulations it doesn't say safety pin your cords, but it does say cords should be along the seam, and it looks a lot sharper if you have the cord pinned to you and not flopping, because the weight can actually like pull it outwards, and it looks really unprofessional. So it's just another thing that can boost up how you look. Backers and all your ribbons and insignias. Now you can buy backers off Vanguard, but it's easier to just get a paper plate, cardboard, something like that. But make sure that whatever you do, the lighter side is facing out, because sometimes if you have like a dark like black color, you can see it through the blue shirt. Find what works for you, and this is mainly for females because guys have no variations on the blues uniform. But females, if you hate wearing garters or you can't get them to fit right, get a princess cut shirt. If you really don't want to wear the pants, or they're too hot, or you need to do whatever, get a skirt. And for guys, make sure you get them altered, because even though altering is kind of expensive sometimes, it seriously can make a world of difference. Same thing for both genders. If you get the right uniform, it's just so much easier to wear, maintain. And a lot of people think blues are uncomfortable, but for me, they're really not, because I wear a princess cut with a skirt, and it really is just, it's not that uncomfortable. So you gotta get to that point where it's just like, I don't dread wearing blues. Another part of that, I think, is going to the dry cleaners. And now, don't get me wrong, it's great to iron your uniform, but especially with blues, the fear of burning it is always there. So I actually like taking them to the dry cleaners because they know exactly how to do it. The only problem you can run into is sometimes they'll get the creases wrong in the sleeves, but that's something you can either fix them and make sure they know what they're doing, or if you bring it in with a little bit of a crease, they'll leave that crease in there. So I highly suggest the dry cleaners just for your blue shirt, because your pants come with that automatic crease that's always in there. Jewelry, this is a big one. So like right now I'm wearing this little necklace. Don't wear this during blues. I mean, if you look at your wrist, you can wear the watch. So I have this hairband. I need to take this hairband off. Those little things, paracord bracelets, charm bracelets, there are some things you can wear, but don't wear them, because it's just uniform-wise. And you can wear the ones that are in regulations, just don't do anything extra. Don't bend the rules, because in the end, do you really need to be wearing those rings? Do you really need to be wearing that kind of stuff? So I just I think it's easier and you're not raising questions, especially at encampment and things like that. Haircut. This is especially for the guys because a haircut is such an easy thing to fix, but a lot of times it's severely messed up. Just invest, while you're a young cadet, invest in a buzzer, and then every week just take it out and just go zoop right out across, zoop right around the ears. Super easy, super fast, super quick, and you'll always have the perfect uniform. That is, a haircut for males is such a critical thing, and same thing for females. There's a playlist that I have all about female hair, and so just watch the videos, pay attention to how you do your hair, because hair for everyone is seriously a major determining factor on respect in staff positions, and it can seriously, it sounds like a little simple thing, but it actually makes a difference. Okay, and the last one I have is for females. Now, the regulations for the nameplate and ribbons are 1.5 inches above or below the first exposed button. And so, this is a little weird, but you gotta make sure that like you put it above your breasts. And this is super weird because what happens is people put them like too low and it looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, it looks horrible, like beyond all means. So make sure you put them up more, even if you're pushing things. Like I have a lot of ribbons and some badges, so even it gets super large and gets really high up there, but don't pull it down. Just put it up, put it on, measure, see where it is. Just really, you're gonna have to experiment where you want your ribbons, because where you put them is seriously, it can look really awesome or it can look ridiculous. I've even seen like high-ranking officers who wear it like that, and it just, even though it's technically in regs, it looks ridiculous. So, like I've said throughout this video, there are some videos that will be linked either above during when I was talking about that specific subject, or they'll be in the comments below or the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. You can message me on my Facebook page or down below, or private message me on YouTube if you have any questions or if you have any video suggestions. Until my next video, have a good week, have a good life. I'll see you then. Bye! Now you have the ABUs, which currently are with the Sage boots, and that's what the Air Force wears. And the Sage is like a tannish, greenish kind of color. And then Silver Patrol currently has the black boots with the BDUs. I'd like to apologize for all the dog noises in the back.